NVIDIA. And yesterday we did have a very, very, very successful chase on NVIDIA short. We basically had it open up at 519.55. It doesn't show here, but that was after hours. And the morning was more important, right? We came back inside that 500. That was the 161 area, was also in the 500 area. It's not a game of perfect, but 493. Point was, we did a phenomenal fade all the way down to 470. And I did say very strongly yesterday, wasn't a question of when, but if the NVIDIA broke this level, we were going to come back down. Can't see it right now, but fill that gap, which happened to be the daily. And we did. It was just, I didn't know if it was going to happen. I said by Friday. My bet was by Friday. Well, it happened by end of day. So now what do we have? It was an if-then statement. It worked really, really well. We faded all the way to 470, filled that gap perfectly. And now we're sitting on the 3-day and it's very weak. So here's your continuation short or potentially your new short, okay? This 470.65, right, which was literally where it came down and it closed with 0.01% gain. Hit a low of 471.59. Anyway, this is it. This is now your stop. It could be choppy here, but my baseline bet is that we're going to continue lower. We opened up in the red. We're going to stay in the red. This looks like a potential head and shoulders, right? We can have some funny stuff. I know it's Friday, options expiration, all that jazz, but there's a little bit of risk here, right? Lots and lots of folks are buying this when it comes back down and retests. I'm quite sure they are absolute diehards. They can't see a better balance sheet out there with demand and all that jazz and the right sector and lots of cash, and they run themselves like a hedge fund. And oh my God, AI is just, going to cure cancer. They really believe that there's going to be integration and this is going to solve a lot of ills. And I hope they're right. But until then, it's very tradable short. So that's your level of stop. I'm wrong if it gets back above, let's see, where did we open? 470. And the high was 470.80. We're right in that neck of the woods, right? Not a game of perfect, but that's basically what I'm seeing is a continuation rollover. Oh, for giggles, I took this after earnings. This is 8/24. So this was after earnings yesterday afternoon, and just wanted to note that this is all option activity for NVIDIA. You know how all the Rosenblatts of the world are saying it's worth $1,000 and up, 600 and up is basically all the upgrades that have come in. The options market has a very, very different look. So this is the 400 strike, biggest stack, bar none. And yes, they could be selling this. It does not tell you direction. It just tells you where the most concentrated option activity is. All expiries, all strikes. It's all in here. We're at 485. That was when I, took this picture yesterday at 115. The at the money was 485. And you can see, obviously, you've got some 500s in here of size, right? But the 400s are actually the biggest stack. Just something to keep in mind. It's always been very, very interesting when I do this big picture view of what's going on. 400s are absolutely the largest stack, bar none. And I might add, for the September timeframe. All right, let's go over this one right here. The bluish September matches this blue right here. So the largest amount of options, I'm not talking about just this week playing earnings, are actually September expiry in the 400 area. There we go. So it has not closed above. As long as it doesn't close above that one at the 470.65 or 471 area, I think we're just going to peter out here. I think we're starting, but we need follow through. This NVIDIA is really going to fall apart. All I can say is it has a look, when or if, has a look of intraday head and shoulders, right? Needs to stay below. It's doing this so far. We really don't have a nasty reversal until this goes green, red, and then comes back down below the 10-week. We're still above the 10-week. We still have plenty of bulls, especially with the end of quarter. Oh my God. Can you imagine a firm that doesn't have NVIDIA on their, portfolio list? It's like having Apple. You have to have the two best players or it's a career risk. So I'm not saying this is done. It sure feels it, but it hasn't confirmed yet for price at all. Okay, so just that. All right, so NVIDIA's picked up a lot of speed to the downside in a very short period of time, which means $10. It just did a $10 reversal. Next level of support is that 460. Needs to break the 460. NVIDIA, sorry. A very, very nice short continuation. Now, here's what we got from measured moves. Let's do that. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Why does it always happen? Right when I close the room, the market gets really eventful. I mean, today we had to get, I should have just started at 10. Anyway, point is, the fade worked to 470, had to digest here, obviously, which it did. It poked above for a New York minute, and then it came right back in. Sorry about that, but it did not have a chance of moving higher if this volatility moves higher. And that's what we've got right now. So head and shoulders is now in play. Let's see if we can get a measured move here. That's first gap fill. Definitely did not close above 470. Not going to close above 470. We've come back down and broken the 3 on the 8. We have a gap fill down here. Let's see if that's the same. Let me get rid of this one. That's the gap fill that I see right now. 435.78. 435.78. That's where we're headed. All right, so the next little level of support, quote unquote, is 452.68. I don't think it's going to hold, but we could have a little bounce. This is a very, very nice defined head and shoulders. Now, that's called the shoulder. So usually we have a little bounce at the shoulder, and then we break it and head down. I'm very, very convicted that we're still going to head down to this 435.78 for NVIDIA. The question is when. So it's almost 11. We've made it all the way down to this, shoulder. This is definitely shoulder. I'm curious if we're going to have a little bounce and then trounce. For measured move, 50 points. Wow. You know what the measured move is on this? 400. Pretty easy. NVIDIA, yesterday, 400, largest stack by 9:15. Wouldn't that be something? Might be worth a few flyers right there. You do not have, even though Rosenblatt says it's worth 1,000, you do not have an options market that is very bullish. The majority is between 500 and 400. It's headed here by September 15th. Now, it's doing exactly what I expected. The shoulder is going to get a little support. Don't be surprised if we get bounce half of this candle before the next rollover. This is an if-then, right? If this is a head and shoulders reversal pattern, we're going to break this, head down and fill that gap, and then we're going to head down to 400. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. 442. Can we get to 442 today? I bet we can. If we go to 442 today, that's going to go red. It's going to go green to red. We're still, by the way, we haven't broken trend. This is the 10-week. We still need to get back inside the Keltner. We still need to get back, inside the 10-week. We still need to close below the 10-week. So this is early innings. But if this is measured move, we're going to head down to 400. That's it. 394.80. So this one already filled. We got 435.78. We'll probably have a little bit of a digestion period. Not going to be all at once. It's probably a dance. There's 419. I'm going to keep that one. Yeah, that looks good. 409. All right. So long story short, this NVIDIA is on support exactly, right? Little bounce. If I'm right, this will stay below a close of 470.65 on the daily. Right now, we're on a whole bunch of on daily support with the 8-day and the trend line and all that stuff. But if this turns out to be absolutely accurate, we're going to go just like this. We're going to bounce here, and then we're going to break. And then we're going to bounce here, and then we're going to break. And we're going to hit that 435, and then we're going to bounce here, and then we're going to break. And we're going to bounce here, and then we're going to break. Get the idea? All the way down to this 394.80. And I'm wrong. If we happen to get back above this 470 and we close above it, we absolutely can move higher. But that's not what I see right now. I see a dance lower. And I think we're going to go into that 400. It doesn't matter the time frame. It's just the next time this gets and stays above 470, we're going to call it. And then we need to break. Okay, I've already gone through this. I don't think we're going to have a close above 471 today. So this is a continuation short, but it's on a whole bunch of support right now on the daily. So I'd say let's see what happens. Maybe Craig's intuition is right that we're going to have this interim bounce, and then we're going to how vol selling into the end of the day, end, weekend risk, all that jazz.